with the AT2020 microphone and the M50 headphone. Well, I'm not going to butcher it, so I'm going to hand over right now. I'm going to introduce our next presenter. Our next presenter is Mr. Edwin Lin of Audio-Technica Southeast Asia. He's going to run us through some of the functions and wow, it's just beautiful, this headset. So okay, without further ado, I'm going to hand it over to Mr. Edwin Lin. Take it away, Edwin.
Hey, thanks Lionel. Hi everybody, welcome to the Creator Tech Show. I'm going to introduce to you some new products today. Firstly is the StreamSet. After that I'm going to talk about this microphone as well. Right, so so let's check out my slides, and then after this you can come on down to try out the microphones and see how it sounds like. Put on a pair of headphones and then see if you like it. Right, so M50X STS, right, this is the model. We have two models. The second one is a USB, and we call it the StreamSet. Is actually a trademark name actually for a headset, a professional headset actually. Right. So how did this happen? We actually merged two of our best products. One is actually the AT2020, and the other is the M50X. So those who are familiar with it, you've used it over the years. Many started out recording with the AT2020. Some still use it until right now. And M50X, great for monitoring, over-ear headphone, great for all sorts of users, right? So why not we converge and merge both products together all in one, and that's where we have the headset over here, right? So this is how the headset looks like. I'll run through some slides later on to go into details. So it looks like this, right? The M50X, and then there's actually a side boom arm at the right, and this is actually the AT2020 capsule is actually inside here, right? So this is a flexible boom arm with a gooseneck, right? You can tilt it in to point it to where you're talking, right? And then just adjust it. There are some people with lots of pops. They're very expressive. They're going to probably tilt the mic further out from them, right? If not, you can just bend it in like that, right? So headphones, yep. This is portable. You can actually keep it this way. Right, and then it'll look very slick and easy for transport, right? And of course, lastly, the boom mic is sticking out, right? So you can actually just pop it in, right? And you actually keep it this way. So travel on the go, put it in your bag, keep it in your room, in your drawer. Very nice one. And there's some buttons at the side as well. There is a USB version with a little bit more buttons and what you can do. We'll cover that in a while. All right, so I'll try out this sound later on. Okay, so who is it for? It's actually designed for streamers, serious streamers. A lot of us start off with anything that we get off the shelf. But on the street, what we hear for many years is that headsets, the microphone sounds not so decent. The headphones may be okay. Why don't we create something that is a little bit more professional, sounding good, elevate the sound, right? And then, when there's good sound, your viewers will be able to stay on long and watch them. So we designed this for streamers and content creators as well, right? The M50X STS StreamSet is the world's first professional streaming headset, right? This headset delivers the ultimate studio quality sound for you and your streaming audience, right? So just play a short video over here, and you can check out some quick features about it. This is a MacBook Pro, but somehow I think it's the video embedded in this PowerPoint. Doesn't seem to work. Oh, I'll just cut the audio. So I'll just fast forward and let you see some of the things. So this video showing that it's going to an audio interface with the cable included. You have the USB version that can plug and play straight into the desktop. Includes two types of ear pads actually. So the ear pads is very cool. You have the soft mesh as well as the traditional one, right? For breathability and comfort, high fidelity and isolation. Two different types for different purpose, right? So the USB version is high resolution as well. So there's a monitoring circuitry for the USB version to let you hear your own voice in your headphone. Things like this, it matters so that you're actually conscious how loud you're talking. Yeah, okay. So jumping into some of the details of the headset, we'll start off with the XLR one. So it's a cutout polar pattern for the microphone, and it's a condenser element. That means you need phantom power, right? And this is to achieve studio quality audio. So you achieve exceptional clarity through extended frequencies, right, with deep, accurate bass response. So this is the whole experience when you're listening, be it what kind of content you're listening to, experiencing, you get a very solid sound. Right. The cardioid condenser microphone, that being a sensitive microphone, is based on the iconic 2020 series, right? And this will give you a similar large diaphragm kind of sound in a very small package. Because we see a lot of streamers, they will split the headphones from away from the mic, right? So they do that is because different reasons. The microphone maybe is not so good sounding. Next is just the style, but some still want to keep with headsets, right? And then we're able to put a very high-end mic into a headset. Right, so we covered the flexible boom arm. So sometimes when they want to swear on air, or they're going to cough, or they're going to pick up a phone, they just need to click up the boom mic immediately. It will automatically just mute the mic. When they're ready to start again, just click it down. Right, so they don't need to go and find the mute button on their screen, on the OBS, on the Twitch. Right. Even if you're using it for Zoom and Teams, streaming for meetings, you can also do the same thing. You can just click it up, you can mute, drink a cup of water or something, or have a conversation with somebody around you, right? And then click it down to carry on your conversation. So the ear pads, so you can zoom in and actually see the image of the fabric over here. So this fabric is something that we decided to add in, not commonly found in our M series headphones. We found that this material gives a bit more breathability, so it's not so hot, right? And you can actually wear it for long hours. But however, some materials are made in a certain way to achieve what it's designed for. The reason why the M series are still keeping with this PU material is because of sound isolation, right? It prevents sound from bleeding out the headphones, and that is actually a requirement from studios recordings where the room is super quiet and you have a large diaphragm mic in front of you. They have to hear their cues. Let's say a music playback or even a click track, the metronome is going. You want as little bleed out from your headphone coming out and go in your mic. So different kind of purpose. So of course, when you're just streaming, it doesn't matter, right? You can just use the one that comes with it. Right, so the cable is 2 meters long, so it's long enough to reach your desktop that is mounted below your table. It's an XLR and 1/4 inch. This has to be used with a mixer or rather a USB audio interface, the proper way of getting sound digitized into your computer. Right, so and then the USB version, right, comes with a USB-A and a conversion to C. So this is plug and play. But the cool thing about it is you can direct plug and play with PC, Mac, smart devices, and tablets. Some smartphones don't work like the slightly earlier versions, but most of them actually work. You can even use your standard video app to record it as well, right? Of course, for iOS devices, you need your dongle, right? And tablets, iPad, and Samsung, and anything around, it also work as long as USB-C. So the cool thing is that it gives you high quality capture. So for some specs, it will be 24-bit, 96 kilohertz. This is very high resolution to capture into your stream. So the side tone circuitry, that's the one that has a button at the bottom of the side cup, the left side. You actually let your own voice be heard in your headphones. So normally, when you don't have this sound, all you hear is somebody else talking to you, or hearing the sound of the game, or hearing the sound of the people on the multiplayer. But when you talk, you only hear your own voice inside your own head. You don't hear it in your ears. So you're not sure how loud you are. Maybe you got so loud and you're screaming, and then you get your door knocking, and then your parents or your partner is telling you to shut up because you're like really raising your voice. So with side tone circuitry, you'll be able to hear how loud your voice is, and you're like, oh, okay, I'll be able to control, right? So this is another video. Let's see if it's still be able to play well. So this is the XLR version, so you actually connected to a USB audio interface. So over time, with good sound and a good setup, a serious gamer, he'll start to have more subscribers, and that's ultimately what they want most of the time, to have a bigger audience. Right, and then we have the USB version. Connect directly to your laptop, no need anything else. So usually used for just chatting. They want to have an easy solution. They don't want so much things on their table, a headset, and just carry on talking for hours with the audience. So easy on the go. You can move your head around. The mic will always stay in front of your mouth. So a headset like this will be beneficial for times like this. Like I'm using a HyperCardot dynamic mic, for example. The moment I'm going off axis, you will hear my voice stop, become very soft already, and then I have to come back. So imagine if I'm a streamer and then I'm like laughing and then I'm like, people ask me to do funny dances and everything, and then my voice will go in and out kind of thing. So things like this, some people don't have the microphone discipline to always keep their face in front of the mic. But radio DJs are trained, certain presenters are trained to always keep their face in front of the mouth no matter which way they're looking at the camera. So that's a bit hard sometimes, so a headset with a boom mic will actually enable this for you. So we actually made this for gamers, reviewers, people that do just chatting, anything online, and as well as even artists and musicians. We do have some musicians who are a little bit creative. They did say that they might want to use a headset like this for singing. It can be done as well, or perhaps even singing and playing a guitar along at the same time. Things like this could actually work as well. Right, so just a quick show for the retail price. Do look for City Music. They have this available. The wired one, which is XLR, going for 278, and the USB version at 318. Right. So let me launch my next slide. In the meantime, if there are any questions, you can check with me. I'll be talking about the microphone next. All right, so right. So let's talk more about what this mic is. So how did it came about? It actually was born from our previous microphone called the BP40, which is actually this microphone over here. Right, BP40. Oops. Sorry, I just tilt the thing. Yeah. So BP40 was actually is actually deployed in MediaCorp's radio stations. So the radio DJs we hear on air every day across all the 4 languages is actually using the BP40. It's actually a broadcast on air mic. Right. So the 2040 was inspired from it, which is a large diaphragm dynamic broadcast microphone. So with the AT2040, the 2040, we want to bring the professional broadcast quality sound to an accessible price. Right. It's like 3.5 times lower the price. Right. And it sounds equally as good. Right. So we're doing this just like how we brought professional studio quality to the AT2020, which is the same mic capsule as the headset. Right. So what is it designed for? It's designed for content creation, podcasting, and has been one of the fastest growing markets in recent years. So podcasting is a big market. They're usually behind the scenes. We don't know much about it, but when you go online and go and check out what podcasts people have been doing, there's thousands and thousands of them. A lot of them are doing video broadcasts. There's thousands of videos as well, lots of episodes. Many of the Singaporean podcasters have actually surpassed the 100th episode already. So that's how deep it is. So we do come across podcasters who start out with inappropriate mics. They pick up a lot of room sound and they don't sound good. It's very hard for your audience to hear a 45-minute podcast with not good quality sound. So the focus on podcasters to get good quality sound is a very key thing, because that's the only thing your audience are listening, just your voice. So it's very important to help creators entertain their fans on a daily, weekly basis. So this mic is tailored for podcasters, streamers, YouTubers, right? The content creator on the whole, be it live streaming, outstanding sound is as important as their content, right? So this mic ensures a natural frequency response for rich, powerful lows, crystal clear studio sound, making it easy for them to talk on stage and when they're presenting. Right, so some of the features of this mic, it has what we call like ambient reduction. Because of the hypercolloid polar pattern, it doesn't pick up the room as much, right? So that's a key thing, because a lot of spaces that they are in is not acoustically treated, right? It also has a shock mount structure. It floats the diaphragm inside to reduce as much bumps and noise from the mic stands and everything. Right, so some of the tables that they are on will still transit the sound in. Of course, the boom mic will help. So you have to experiment on that. Right, so there's an internal pop filter. What's that? So there's some people, when they speak, a lot of air comes out of their mouth, a lot of P's and P's. Right, so certain mics would pop a lot much more than this. When I say pop, buzz, P, P, power, power. So there is still popping, right? But without this design, it's going to boom even more, right? Things like this will actually matter. So we want to reject the pop noise. So there's a thick dampener in front of it, just like our BP40, the broadcast radio mic, and there's a shock mount clip integrated as well. Right, so the hypercolloid focus is meant to pick up maximum voice, right, with as much isolation as possible. So it's facing me. So that's the reason why just now when I talk out of the microphone, it comes out in the sound. So you can imagine a lot of podcasters, they actually sit side by side. Sorry, my hand. Yeah, a lot of podcasters actually sit side by side. They are like just next to each other. They face each other. So imagine if the mic was picking up in a very wide angle, their voice will actually bleed into each other's microphone. So you start to have this phasing sound come out, right? So it's a dynamic microphone, right? So it's to deliver warm and intimate vocal tones, ideal for conversations, for sudden loud voices and bursts of laughter. So we do see that in conversations when people say very interesting things, people suddenly raise their voices or they suddenly crack a joke and everybody laughs, it will just distort like crazy, right? So that's where actually we have actually some other products here that has another thing called 32-bit float. This is another recording quality that actually prevents distortion from happening. So Mike will talk more about it later on. Right, so and then we have the 2040 USB, right? It features a direct plug and play to PC, Mac, smart devices, tablets. So let me just grab it. I want to show you the light of the mic. Yep, so this is the USB version, right? So it features a very nice light here, tap and mute, tap and on, and there's some ports behind for some further controls. So this will also work with smart devices and tablets as well, or direct to PC and Mac, right? Just plug in and record, right? It's designed differently. You will see that I point out there is a 1% on-the-go mic. Because it's USB, based on today's technology in Windows and Mac, they are unable to receive multiple mics at one time. There is some other brands that's able to do that, but they have a special driver to actually merge more than one mic on the go. So, but for most USB devices, our computers will only detect one device only. So, but it has its purpose. Some people actually move around and just record themselves talking only. They might travel, throw it in their luggage, put it on their hand carry, go to some place to record, go on the street to record, or meet somebody outside somewhere to record. So this will serve as a very compact on the go. You don't need to bring anything else but your computer. And of course, you can directly monitor the sound from your microphone. When you play back, you can also hear back what you just recorded immediately. Right, so the quick mute button, we've covered that already. So it's very silent. So if you have to record it and you hear back the sound and also to tap the microphone, you actually don't hear the, yeah. So this is actually meant to have little touch lah. Of course, some people with extra super strong force, they'll like bang the whole thing. You'll still go in the sound. Right, so just zooming into the back of the microphone. So we start on the top left, we have the monitoring jack for headphones and earphones. Right, then below it, we have the volume knob to hear your overall master volume of your voice. You have a USB to connect power, to power the mic. You still need to power this mic somehow. There's a lot of electronics inside. The laptop will power it, your tablet will power it, your smartphone will power it, right, and connect directly to record. Right, you can even launch your video recording app, your standard app, to actually hear it. Right, and then lastly, at the bottom right, we have the mix knob to blend the microphone's volume and the playback volume. So this is a mix knob that is a bit more advanced. Sometimes you want to hear your own voice talking plus the other person talking to you at the same time, or something that you're playing back. You can actually blend it between the two. Right, so and then when you play back 100% recording, you don't want to hear the mic anymore. You just need it to swing the knob to the right to only hear the recorded sound. Right. And then coming back to the XLR version, is an analog microphone, and what is it used for? It's for more than one person, right? So we covered that just now. When we have other guests in the room, we need to record a few people. One of the only ways right now is to use a XLR microphone and to connect it straight to like a podcast mixer, like this Mackie DLZ mixer over here, right? So the one in the picture is over here. You can come out and check it out later. And you're using a mic cable. Right, so a quick feature on the price, the XLR version is 148, and the USB is 100 more at 248. Comes with the cable and all that. Yeah, so that's all for my slides for now. Yeah, ooh, what's this? Any questions right now? Yeah, thanks very much for your presence. I hope you all will use it more. Just do visit City Music's website online, and then you can check out more, read it out more, or approach us to try out more. If you'd like to have demo sessions and everything, do contact us as well. Yeah, I think that's all for me. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Edwin. Thank you very much. Thanks for sharing with us. Awesome products from Audio Technica. Of course, wow, the M50, ATH M50X STS streamer set. Yeah. Really awesome piece of product. Also the AT2040, the BP40. All this, you can find all this on citymusic.com.sg. Just head over there. If anyone has any questions, please feel free to approach Edwin. He'll be more than happy to answer your questions, right? So, all right. So moving forward, also take this opportunity to thank our partners, Audio Technica Southeast Asia, Mackie, Zoom, Shure Asia Limited, Dolby, Samsung, SSL Asia, Ziyun Tech, AOC, Philips, Invicta, Sony Singapore, EHKF, Hinomi, Amaran by Aperture Asia, Blackmagic Design, Creative at Work, Rebel Squad, Outside Productions, and of course Upside Down Concepts. So this is not the end of the day yet. So just a quick update. We'll be having a lucky draw which we will hold today this evening. So I understand some of you who came yesterday may not be here today. Don't worry, we have your name. So more importantly, for our guests here today, remember to register your name over at the counter so to get yourself into the lucky draw, right? Lucky draw will be this evening. If let's say you were here yesterday and today you're not here, not to worry. Your name will still go into the lucky draw. And if you're selected, we'll contact you, and you can also just drop by to our space here to collect your lucky draw prizes. So this is just the first part of today's showcase. At 2 p.m., we'll be having the legendary Mike Mayuni, right? He'll be talking about the new Zoom Mic Track series of, I would say, microphones/recorders, right? Very interesting. This just came in. So stay tuned. I'll see you guys later in the stream. This is Lionel. See you guys later. One. Marlon, can I just get you on this?
I just wanted to let everybody hear the sound of the mic. I forgot to let you hear. So this is the M50X STS, it's the volume 2. Okay. So this is a condenser sound, and then I'll switch over to the other two mics to let you hear. And then I'm going to mute the mic now. So you already heard the sound of the 2040 just now, and I'll switch over to the BP. Test, is it the BP40? Test, yeah, this is the BP40. So I muted the other two mics. So this is the BP40, and let's just compare it to the 2040. So I didn't, probably the gain is about the same, but I think the volume, you can help me hear if the sound is different. So I'll probably read out something to let you hear the sound. This is the sound of the BP40. This is a large diaphragm dynamic mic. This is the sound of the BP40. This is the sound of a large diaphragm microphone. And now I'll switch over. This is the sound. Oh, yeah, the volume is quite different. Let me raise it. This is the sound of an AT2040. This is the sound of the AT2040 large diaphragm dynamic mic. So these are some of the differences. I think the EQ should be flat, but to just hear it, this is how different a microphone can sound. And of course, these two are dynamic, and then versus the condenser. And this is the sound of the condenser. You hear the crispiness is a little bit much more. Might sound a bit sibilant on some voices, and you can just adjust the capsule to point in another way. Things like this. So yeah, just come on down later on to try out the sound for yourself. Or I'm going to put some of the mics over at the other, where the main counter is. You can go there and have a listen as well. All right, thanks guys.
All right, thank you, Edwin. Okay, so if any questions, just feel free to approach Edwin. He'll still be around today. Can ask him some questions about the stream sets and stuff. Right, so Marlon, what time are we going on? There 2 for the next one? 2, right? So the 2 p.m. we will have Mike Mayuni coming up to talk about the Zoom Mic Track series of handheld recorders / microphones, right? All right, see you guys in a bit.
Test. Let me, if I move this, no, this is still going to.
I couldn't see. And now that you're by my side again, I'll never leave you behind. Lifeless days and sleepless nights, so tired of it. I can't get you off my mind, can't forget it. Now I know what I've got to do is find my way back to you. Hey, why did it take us so long? Hey, fill my soul with light the day we met. I don't wanna leave your side. Have me by your side when the sun sets. Let's leave for an eternity. We'll sail across the lights beyond the sky. I'll be with you eternally. I'm an addict for your love, it keeps me high. Can I be your star tonight? You fill my soul with light the day we met. I don't wanna leave your side. Have me by your side when the sun sets. Let's leave for an eternity. We'll sail across the lights beyond the sky. I'll be with you eternally. I'm an addict for your love, it keeps me high.
Mic test, 1, 2. Mic check. Hey, 1, 2. Mic check. Test, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3.
Can you hear me? Testing. Tester. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Oh my God. Okay, I'm ready. Huh?
Besides, consider a microphone / field recorder.
I would like introducing the 32-bit recorders. 32-bit.
Check. 1, 2. And hello everyone, welcome back to the second part of our Creator Tech Showcase. Welcome back to City Music 3.0. We are currently going to have a very special guest, which is standing behind me getting ready. A lot of you will know him. He's Mr. Mike Mayuni, right? He's going to show us the new line of Zoom 32-bit recorders / microphones / field recorders. So many interesting things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hand it over to Mike. Mike, take it away. Show us all the great stuff.
Thank you, Lionel. Thank you so much. Once again, thank you very much for being here with us at City Music 3.0. Now, my name is Mike. What we're here today is basically I would like to introduce you to people who actually love the audios and would love to get a good, amazing audio quality, whether it be what kind of sound you're doing, in terms of, let's say, field recording, location sound, or even home recording, or any form of recording, and you want a top-notch, good quality recording. That's what we want to achieve, right? Any of you here are location sound guy? Any of you doing sound live? No? Podcasters? Live streamers? And so you're mainly doing live streaming, and any broadcast guys doing audio broadcast recording. Home studio, how about home studio recording? Anybody doing any home studio recording? No. Okay, no issues, no worries. So what here today is basically to show you, again, as you can see yesterday, we have several of these amazing videographies that's being done by people who actually, showing how easy it is to make. And also audio, that's basically how we actually do in podcasts and how easy actually these mixers and all that stuff. So today we're doing the audio. I'm going to showcase you Zoom, the person who actually, basically the Zoom company, who they are first. Anybody use Zoom product before? Well, what do you have? P8, nice. How about you, sir? H6. H6? Nice, I love the F6. So we're going to cover a little bit of that to show you basically what these products are all about and the magic of these products, okay? So before that, I would like to introduce you who Zoom is all about. Okay, so Zoom basically is a company, audio company, since 1983. So basically, it's a company that listed in Tokyo Stock Exchange. That's the first thing that we need to know. Multi-effects pedal. So they make, the early days, they were the multi-effects pedal maker, and we were the first to sell the multi-effects pedal in Singapore. And not only that, so they have many products after that. They create devices, recording devices for musicians, and recording devices. And basically, they believe in the slogan called "We are for creators." And designed for video creators, content creators, podcasters, and many more. And today, they want the leading recording device maker in the world. Okay, they won many awards for the H1, H2, H6. They won many awards like the NAMM Show Tech Award and all that awards. And continuously making beautiful products for us. Now, they make very nice handy recorders, as you can see, H6 and all that. From H1 to H6, we have all the range products, if you can take a look later on. Video recorders, amazing video recorders. Audio interface, field recorders, digital mixers, multi-effects, port tracks, and digital instruments. Not forgetting, they also have the mobile devices designed for you to create your content as well, and also the accessories. If you need to know more, you can also visit Zoom website, or also our website, citymusic.com.sg, for more info on the products. Okay? Now, the first thing that we always ask, how to record audio. So is it correct or not? Using this is correct or not? Is it how it sounds good or not? That's always a dilemma when doing audio recording. It's not easy. Sometimes you they might put my mic correctly or not. the axis of the mic, and many more. You have a lot of questions, and you ask yourself, well, am I doing the right thing or not, right? So those are the challenges. So what are the challenges? Let's go through these challenges. First, your recording levels, they are too low. We don't know how much you put again. You put too high, then you realize that, alamak, you got clipping and all that stuff. You put too low, this is what's going to happen. So you end up getting too low of recording levels, and you crank it up. So the moment you crank it up, what happened? Yeah, there's a lot of noise floor, and a lot of all this noise. You definitely get it. You know that. Once you start recording, you know that it's going to happen. Whether it be on the phone, or whether it be on any sort of recording devices, you will get that problem. Now, the next thing that you will achieve is also when you're recording too high level. That means if you gain it too high, you say, okay, because I'm afraid that it's going to be very soft. You crank it up. The moment you crank it up, what happened? Suddenly someone just talks so loud, super loud, and so what's going to happen? It cracks. There's no turning back. What if that's the one take only, and it's gone, finished? Yeah, so for example, you have, you're doing, let's say, a podcast, and you invited someone from overseas, maybe from the US, and that was the moment of truth that you need to have this person to record it at that moment of time, and suddenly he just, boom, and you lost everything, it cracks. There's no turning back, you can't turn back the clock, right? So that's the common. And also some people say, no worries, I got a safety channel. There's another function, usually some of these high-end recorders, safety channels, so you can record it separately, a safety channel. Well, you can do that, but again, you still have this issue just in case it's loud. For example, how am I going to record, let's say, something like an explosion or a gunshot? You reach to that scene and you wanted to record that explosion at the moment of time, the speed of that moment. Suddenly you didn't get the right gain structure and you suddenly just record it. What happened? Boom, finish, and you get distortions. So that's how basically we are here today to share with you how easy you can record with all these amazing Zoom devices. All right? So I'm going to do it live here to show you how simple it is to record an audio without worrying about your audio gain structure. So meaning you don't have to worry about, am I having a right gain? Or am I losing that gain? Or whatever gain that you think that is right or wrong. No worries at all. It's free. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to do live here, which is I'm going to record this. Okay. It's my first time using this. Okay. So these, I want to introduce you this first. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to record a voice, which is, it's going to be very extremely soft. Okay, and I need your help. Anybody can volunteer, can speak whispery voice. It's nice. Okay, when I say 3, 2, 1, you can just do that very extremely soft as possible. Okay.
Would you like me to say anything? Yes.
Thank you very much. Okay, thank you very much. Can I have your name, ma'am?
What? Oh, my name.
Yeah. Sorry? Wendy, thanks, Wendy. Give Wendy a round of applause, please. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to do one more, which is extremely loud. You're going to shout at this mic. I'm going to put this very close to this mic, and you're going to see how much you can crack this mic as possible, and see what's going to happen later on. Do you mind doing another one? Anybody want to volunteer? Okay, let's do that. Please. For me. Okay, extremely loud.
What? What am I saying?
Anything, shout as loud as possible. Just, heart's content.
How loud you want?
Very extremely loud. Yeah.
I'm very scary on this.
Yeah, don't worry. Okay. Okay.
Should I?
Okay, louder.
Louder.
Okay. See, that's very loud, right? I'm going to push your mic. Yeah, thank you very much. Can I have your name, ma'am?
Joey.
Joey.
Yeah.
Give a round of applause to Joey, please. Okay. So I have 2 files. One is extremely low. The other one is extremely loud. Shout. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to export these files into my computer. Anybody knows about DAW before? Recording software? No. So, okay, never mind. No worries. You can use any recording software. So you can download also free software like, what do you call that? What are the free software you can find in the market? Audacity, for example. Yeah. GarageBand, if you have a Mac, it's no problem. So that's free. So I'm going to be using one of these recording software. Again, I'm just going to plug this in. And one thing I like about this because you can see the waveform over here. And I'll just make this file transfer. Okay, to PC. Yep, enter. Okay, yes you go. So I'm just going to exit from here. And what I do is, yep, over here. Okay. As you can see on the screen right now. So what I'm going to do is, escape. Okay. Ooh. Alright. Right. Hang on now. Okay. So I'll be opening this file from this USB. So I'm going to plug this USB directly into this device. And I'm just going to do file transfer and enter. And then PC or Mac. Okay, it says here. And it's already open up over here. You can just open this up. And I will open these two files and drag it into my software. Oops, I'll put this down first. Okay. All right, so I'm just going to drag these inside. All right, you can see that overload of files and create another one where you have the other one, which is the extremely, wait, I just put it here first. Okay. Okay. Okay, let me just mute these. So we have here. Okay, put it here. Let's hear these first. Is the audio out? One? Okay. Let me just double check my interface. Quick one. Okay, seems okay. All right. See, that's very soft, right? Yeah. And okay, I'm just gonna. So what I'm going to do now is I can actually set the gain. Okay, it's like, you know. Yeah. I don't know what's wrong. Maybe the transferring was a problem. Okay, no issues. I do again one more time. Just close this. I'll open a new one. Okay. Okay, there you go. Okay, so what I do is to load these files in. Okay. All right. So let me see what's that. Not sure why, but never mind. I'll do is I load the other one. It's the more heavier stuff there. Keep inside here. Okay. Yeah.
Sure. Oi! Louder.
Longer.
Oi!
I'll do this first because I don't know why the probably there's a clip. Maybe I didn't adjust the recording level. But never mind. Okay, I will take this again. The loudest voice that we have over here. Okay, so obviously you see this distortions going on over here. That's like super overload, right? So what I'm going to do now is very simple. I'll just take the tools over here and the gain tools, and I bring down the level. Okay, as much as I think that it will not crack. You know that just now when you hear that it was like super cracky, really, you know, clipping already. So check this out, you know. Okay.
Sure. Oi!
Okay, louder.
Louder.
Longer.
Oi! Oi!
Go some more lower to prevent that cracking sound.
Sure ah? Oi!
Okay, louder.
Louder.
Longer.
Oi!
Okay. There you go.
Sure ah? Oi!
Okay, louder.
Louder.
Longer.
Oi!
Hear that? So you lose a lot of that noise reflected from that, you know. And again, if I'm going to bring this up again, you can see the level. It's like
Sure ah? Oi! Louder.
longer.
Oi!
Right. And going down. Once more.
Sure ah? Oi!
Okay, louder. You find it's still cracking? Just bring it down. Okay, there you go.
Sure ah? Oi!
Okay, louder.
Louder.
Longer.
Oi!
Okay? Okay. Okay, I do one more, just in case, you know, we didn't go through the soft. I don't know what happens. We do one more, if you don't mind. We do one more soft one again. Sure. Okay. Okay. Let's do that again.
Yes, this is very soft. I like it this way.
Okay. Sorry. Let's do this. Give me a second. I'm just going to bring the waveform softer. Smaller. Okay. Okay, sorry.
If you don't behave yourself, I'm gonna smack you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Wendy. Okay, so I'm going to do that again. She just put the voice again on a very soft volume. So I'm going to bring this out again. Bring this away. I'll be putting the new one. Okay, so I'll just find that function file transfer. Yes, and there you go. And yes, okay. Yeah, this is a recording device. And this is basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you basically what this is all about. But I'll do a reverse way. So I'll just do a recording first, and then we're going to introduce you to the product. Okay, so now, let's see if this is the one that we just recorded. Should be this one, I suppose. Let me just check.
If you don't behave yourself, I'm gonna smack you.
Yeah, I think that's the one. I'll just bring that up. Oh. Okay, do the try. Oh, I'll just open this up. Okay, so that was the recorded track. It's just
If
extreme
you
soft.
don't behave yourself,
Alright,
I'm gonna
see, hardly
smack
hear anything.
you.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is again. Okay, you boost up the signal. Let's hear that.
If you don't behave yourself, I'm gonna smack you.
Yeah, it's almost up maximum. One, can you bring up the level just in case?
If you don't behave yourself, I'm gonna smack you.
Sounds good. You see, very loud, right? So if you see, it was the volume was totally like quite bad actually. Yeah. Like this, it was definitely way softer. You know, can't even see clearly. And then when you start to boost up the signal, you will hear noise floor. Shh. Noise is just like.
If you don't behave yourself, I'm gonna smack you.
Super, right? And the reason just now, okay, even if loud, because it was quite close, so the mic axis is also very important. If you put a little bit distance, because you see again, this mic is this much, right? So again, if you know that you're going to be very loud, so a lot of information is going in, so it will rattle. So it also depends on what kind of recording microphones you have. For example, if you use this, of course, you know that you need a certain distance before you record. If you're almost like this, you would rattle somehow. That's why you hear a bit of the rattling just now when it's super loud. So you can do the same way when you record it's a little bit further, and you can access all that unnecessary noise away. So that's something that you can take note of that when you record. So what I was trying to explain is, even at a very soft volume, when you increase the gain, and even when you have too much of the gain and you can decrease the level, these devices that we have from Zoom basically tell you that you have no worries about your level. You can just do during your post, you can adjust the level accordingly, and you get a good audio, healthy audio, like this.
If you don't behave yourself, I'm gonna smack you.
That's nice, I like that. So okay, so you get the idea of the of these devices. Okay, so I'm just gonna get out of this place and we're back to Okay, so what we have here right now, is this thing called 32-bit float. Anybody knows what is 32-bit float? It's not a root beer float. It's not a Coke float. Anybody knows what's 32-bit float? No, right? So do I. So what's 32-bit float, ladies and gentlemen? So 32-bit float is basically, I'll show you. Ta-da. Okay, so it records at a very high dynamic range recording, which exceeds 150 dB. Whatever you hear just now, which is probably about 70, 80, or even 90 dB, or even more, 100 dB, going at super loud, like for example the explosions or gunshots, and of course the noise floor of the, it's very, very soft, you know, maybe about 30 dB and so on. That gives you a total probably about 150 dB altogether, that whole spectrum of audio. Now the next thing is basically what Zoom believes is a dual AD converters. One capturing the super low gain, soft. One captures the super high gain. That's what we hear just now, the super low and the super high gain. It captures every information that you can record from that device. And even record the quietest and the most loudest sounds that be carefully recorded without distortion or loss of details. What else? There's so much headroom that you hear, not only just the amount of sound that is inside, but dynamics. You know, especially from soft to loud, you can hear the dynamic range. So it gives you a lot more spectrum of dynamic range. Okay, this is again, is free with sound levels, again during recording, no need to set gain on the fly. And it's good for one-man sound operator. That means you have a journalist, you just go there, choop. You don't have to worry about whether it's being recorded, whether I have the right level. In the end, when you put it on the broadcast, suddenly the level was like super soft. Or the other one is super loud, and after that you put on the YouTube or you put on your TV channels, suddenly just super cracking sound, then doesn't make sense, right? So these are the devices that are no worries, hassle-free. And it's good for sound designers, journalists, location sound, content creators, vlogs, videographers, and many more. And works with many of the DAWs, or most of the DAWs. And I'm sharing you one of the example because we do our own podcast channel in City Music. So what happened was we do have frequent guests coming to our space. And one we experienced was the guest came in late. Our live stream was supposed to be 3 p.m. and the gentleman came at 3:30. So we got panicked. And what happened was we have a rough sound check. So one of my interns who did the sound check like this, test mic, 1, 2, 3, testing mic. So we thought, okay, good, let's do it. So the guy came here at 3:30 and rushing to our space and like, okay, Mike, we are ready. Suddenly he talked this loud. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. What happened? Finish. You know, the first few moments, we have to struggle finding our sound right. And it was recorded. But too bad, we can't turn back the clock. So it was recorded, and too bad that specific moment, like maybe 2-3 minutes, we are struggling to get the right sound. That was the issue. Same with these, you don't have to worry about it because it's hassle-free during your recording, whether it be on a podcast, your content creation, and many more. Okay. Now, introducing to what is already in the market from Zoom, it's these 32-bit recorders. We have over here a nice-looking F2 designed for vlogs, YouTubers. You just put it in, press record, boom, you have a 32-bit recording device over here, record to the micro SD card. We have the F3, which is designed specifically for any kind of purposes, for your broadcast use, for your, your sound location, and many more, 2 input channels and 32-bit recorders. And of course, this is one of my favorite, which is the F6, super robust device, record up to 6 channels in this device. Okay, so you just don't have to worry about what are these knobs and all stuff. Press record, boom, that's it. Don't have to worry about it. It's just for people who say, okay, I just want an independent level controls, and yeah, so you can have independent volume controls if you're not doing a 32-bit. So it's basically the flexibility of doing other if you're not doing the 32-bit recording. You can still use 24 or 16. So that's it for the 32-bit recording. No, basically why? Because what's next for Zoom? What's next? So what they have, It's a beautiful range of our new launch product called the Zoom Mic Track Recorders. So now the Zoom Mic Track Recorders, we have 3 models, okay. Yeah, looks super gadget kind of thing. So we have 3 models, very simple. This is M2, which meaning it's 2 tracks, which is basically a mono track or a stereo track. That's it. 2 means 2 track, meaning it's 2 track. It's called a stereo track. M3, generally this is an amazing product. I'm going to show you later on what basically this product is all about. If you are doing content creation, if you're doing podcasts, if you want to, and also location sound. And this guy works more, it's more like the M2, but with more input channel. So I'm going to go through a little bit of this product. So the M2 basically is an audio recorder. We have tried that, so I don't have to cover that. Basically, it's a simple 2-channel recorder. We didn't do anything much just now. It was just simply record, stop. There's an onboard 500, what you call that? It's like half watt speaker on board. So generally you can use it to hear. If you don't have earphones, you can have a speaker on board. You can play back, or you can use your earpiece to play back your sound over here. So it's a recorder on its own. It's not a mic. It is a recorder on its own, and you can make your file transfer to your COM if you want to. And it also has the wave file to indicate your volume or your wave file wave. Okay, so it's going at $290. Okay, so a little bit of the specs if you want to go through. So it's a USB-C. It records up to 1 terabyte if you have a 1 terabyte of a SDXC card. Yeah, so it's a milliwatt, so 500 milliwatt speaker. So it's half of a watt. And it runs on 2 AA size batteries if you're looking at just portable and carry around with you anywhere you want to go. So it is using 2 AA size alkaline batteries. And you can also use rechargeable batteries if you want to. Or you can use USB hub. Or you can use USB power from the source. That's it. Simple as that. And yeah, it works with basically PC, iOS device. You can also connect this to an iOS device if you want to. Or Android. Yeah, so it makes, you know, your, let's say you have a podcast outdoor, maybe at Starbucks or something like that, you just plug in and record it straight to your phone. Boom. No need. This is an interface. So this is, yes, so a USB mic, audio interface. So, in other words, it's a multi-purpose, meaning even if I don't have my computer, meaning if I don't even have my iPhone, you know, sometimes your iPhone may require a lot of space in your, you know, you use a lot of space in your phone. So this is a recorder on its own. Put your SD card, micro SD card, boom, record it anywhere you want to go. That's it. Hassle-free. That means you don't have to worry about, did I record it right or not? No need. Press record, boom, settle. All right. So it's a recorder on its own. But you can also use it with your COM if you want to. iOS device want to. No problem. No issue. Okay. And it's the standard stereo recording device. You can also select whether you want a mono or stereo. Usually in some of the ENGs, basically if you're doing some voiceovers, ENGs, basically they're using mono. So you can also do mono and you can also do stereo. Okay. Next is the application. So these are meant for like home mobile recording, podcast, live stream, interviews, journalists, and for musicians as well, for buskers who wants to record their busking. Boom, that's it. So it's basically for that kind of application. Next, we have the shotgun. Now, I love this product because this is the first shotgun mic with a 32-bit recording. Now, if you know about shotgun, just Google if you're not sure about shotgun. Basically, shotguns are mainly used on top of a DSLR because you can do this, you move together with your visuals, right? And also, some people use it in a sound location where they do like dramas or, you know, what you call that? All those kind of conversational dialogues and stuff like that. So we move together with the camera and stuff and use the pole and stuff like that. So now, generally, these mainly designed are mono. Mono means you only captures whatever that's in front of you, like this, okay? It's mono. Now, the good thing about these shotgun mics are multi-purpose. Why? Because it's not only mono, it is also stereo. It's basically you can adjust or select whether you want a mono, stereo, 90 degrees and 120 degrees. Now, what is that? Get very confused with this. So mono means it records like this. Stereo means it records here and here. So you could hear, let's say for example, you put in the middle, I could hear her talking over on the left. And I could hear him talking over the right. So you can hear when you record it stereo. I can hear you talking blah, 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 and the other side, blah, blah, blah. So that's stereo. So what's 90 degrees? Now, 90 degrees means it allows you to record 90 degrees angle, but this way. So meaning not only just the front, perhaps you want to record a small acoustic band, maybe like the piano recital, you know, like a small, maybe if you just want to record 3 of you doing your podcast, one mic in the middle, it captures all the 3. Or, as good as I want to record a concert, so you have a lot more angle, 120, right? So I can capture the whole entire concert, basically the stage, band, boom. So that's 120. So it's a good multi-purpose device for podcasters. Just put here, press record, and record. And use it for sound location, put on top of DSLR, blah, blah, blah. Or if not, put on the boom, you can put on the boom and record it. So really, really multi-purpose. And you don't have to worry about getting this to a recording device. In most of the broadcast or sound location guys, they usually put this and then they wire it onto a device like this, for example, you know. There's so many gadgets to bring around. So if you're looking for something portable on the fly, doing on the sound location, you just need to bring this. Oh, it's just basically for me to put on this way. This one. Ah, good question. I like that question. So what this basically, if you're putting on a DSLR, if any of you do video editing? Video editing? Okay. So the common problem is to sync your audio with the video, right? So this guy allows you to have a B channel audio. That means when you record this, you can straight record onto your DSLR. So you have 2 audio. Then you can match your audio. So your audio from this guy and the audio from DSLR plus your video, boom, all in one shot.
Simple, right? Like on iPhone, is there an adapter for this?
No worries. What you can do is basically you use your what you call it, lightning to USB. There's a lightning to USB cable. If you're not too sure, you let me know. I can show you that. And then you just use a USB cable directly.
So
Yeah.
directly, lightning here,
Yeah.
USB into
Yes.
that.
So you don't lose any audio signal
This one can capture and
Yeah.
then it will be recorded in
onto
there.
your phone. You can record it in there.
So the file that's all recorded in here,
You can transfer if you want to.
okay, so you have to synchronize it on an editing software.
Yeah.
So the original iPhone recording, will it be recorded?
Yes.
Or will it bypass the audio recording in the iPhone?
It depends on the software. If you're using a third-party software, you have to check whether it allows you to record simultaneously. In most cases, you record whatever that is assigned to. That means one
So this one
audio
will
call.
This one will record its file.
Right.
And then let's assume I take it out.
Right.
And I just want my video.
Yeah.
So will I be able to hear video on
On that.
on my
Yeah.
phone like
Yeah.
that?
If you have it's good to have 2 audio. To me, it's good to have 2 audios. One audio from your phone.
And one from there.
Yeah. Just a backup plan.
Oh, okay.
If you want to do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
But if vice versa, you can do
what's
that.
the default setting?
Default setting, when you plug, it detect this as an audio interface.
Okay, so default.
Default.
I simply plug it in.
Yeah.
Okay, will I have 2 audio files, one there and one here?
No.
What will
In
I
most of the video, what you call it, software, you record whatever you attach as that basically audio call, and then
which is
to the
actually
video.
much better technically,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Much better than the
Right.
recorder here.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Welcome. You can also do that, and plus recording it from the SD card. That means press record. This guy, you can also record it in. So you have a backup 32-bit. Or 32-bit is the main top-notch audio, and then later on you can use that to sync. I mean, it's up to you. These are your preferences. Okay, so generally this basically allows you to connect to your DSLR or any other recording video devices. Okay, any questions so far? Good, all good? Ken? Okay, same thing, it uses the USB-C, compatible with PC and Mac. What I like about it is because it's the amount of space that you have to record your audio. It's 1 terabyte maximum. I think that's big enough for any of the audio. And generally, it runs on 2 AA-size batteries. It lasts for about 12 hours. And if not, you can use power banks if you want to. Okay, so next, basically, is the application. Good for indoor shoot, outdoor shoot, sound design again, and pre and post production. Now, why I say pre and post production? Because it also allows you to do the software thingy, and you can also adjust again later on whether you want it to be a little bit more, instead of like, like this, you want to be a little bit more towards the mono section over here, you can do that on the post. So that's basically the advantage of the, oh, can you hear me? Okay. So that's basically the advantage of the M3. Now lastly is the M4. So the M4 is another amazing device, 32-bit, almost similar to the M2. But what's so special about the M4? Because basically it's a 4-track, simple as that. Okay. So as a 4-track 32-bit recorder, now this is also good to if you are doing your own, you have your own microphones and you decide that later on, okay, but I want more channels. For example, you are doing content creation, but again, you have another 2 of your colleagues or your friends, basically, or your guests you want to also interview. So what you can do is using the M4, you have the option of the XLR cable, and then you can plug this to a mic. The other side also with another mic. So you have left, right, stereo, and then 1 additional mic and 1 additional mic. So you have total of like a stereo surround and then 2 additional mic. Okay? So that's all. Very simple. Nothing fancy. But this is good if you are using it with a timecode. There's some videos out there basically requires you to sync. And if you want to basically do a syncing, rather than doing the manual way of syncing, you can also do this syncing via timecode generator 3.5, is using standard 3.5 mm in-out. Just in case you may want to do some specs on this timecode. All right, so we have also a timecode that's designed for this device. So this is the only one that has a timecode for that portable handy recorder moving around. But if you want that timecode to sync with your video, so this is the guy to go for. And plus 2 additional channel. And of course, it uses 4 AA size battery rather than 2 because of that, more power is required, but it lasts longer, about 18 hours. If not, again, you can use a USB hub if you want to. USB power bank you want to. Okay, so these are mainly using it in the indoor, outdoor film makers, for filmmakers, now sound design, location sound, for your home studio. We have a lot of these basically friends who are actually using it for voiceover. If you decide to basically multi-purpose, you can use it for outdoor shoots. Sometimes you want to do for your trivia, voiceover and all that. Also back in the post, you can just put in, record your voice, boom. So it's like a USB mic. It is a USB mic. You can use it, in the studio. So that's the amazing part. And you can plug in straight to your iOS device or even Android. Okay, so you can use it for fitness as well, And for live stream, of course, for live stream purposes, podcast, content creation. Now, so we have another device that's already out in the market. I just want to share with you what we have in store. And that basically is our flagship model. And that's the FAN Pro. You know better, FAN Pro. It's one of my favorite. Why I say favorite? Because, where's my FAN Pro? Yeah, I'm just going to bring it out. Yeah, FAN Pro. Oh yeah, it's over here. I'm just gonna pull out. Oh yeah, I just want to show them. Yeah. Okay, I set that. Well, this is connected. I'm not sure whether yesterday you've actually were here for the Audio Technica workshop. So you have this amazing audio that you record from that microphone over there. Such an amazing recording that you can hear all that binaural recording, all right? So it's being recorded onto this device. Not many devices are able to record all that kind of spatial audio or binaural audio. So this allows you to record 8 inputs. So you can use 1/4 inch or XLR. And it runs on AA size batteries. You can use rechargeable batteries. And the good part of this, basically, we have people who are actually recording sound. Where is it? On Eskimo, on that, Mount Everest, and they need to be, well, not all equipment are able to handle in the kind of weather. They're kind of like in the snow, in a very cold country. It will freeze, and that's it. All the buttons will be damaged somehow. So this device that I have over here is called FAN Pro, able to actually record on this kind of situation or scenarios. And 8 inputs, 32-bit recording, so you don't have to worry about pressing, recording, and checking your levels and stuff like that. And boom, 8 channels. So again, these are designed for creating immersive audio, that what we talked about just now, and also the dual AD converters, kind of stuff, 360 audio that you can make for VR and AR, and also multiple feeds. Okay, so you can basically use, if you are up in that Mount Everest, there's no turning back to go down and charge your batteries, right? So there's no turning back. It's like super high up in the mountain, and how are you going to do that? So you have to prepare all those batteries. So you must be portable. So you can use all sort of nice battery, like you can use the Hirose extension batteries. I mean, all these are a bit, if you are into cameras, you will know all these. So generally, you can use basically any dry cell batteries, no problem. Okay, so again, you have the time code, and you have basically the auto mix function. So auto mix function allows you to record it without worrying about the noise. Like just now when you record this very soft, there's probably noise. So we eliminate that noise and captures only when you have a very definite sound. So all the noise, you just boom, and suddenly you have that volume, and you record that. That's basically the auto mix. And of course, you have also this amazing function called the 6 second of audio. That means way before you record, you press the button record, right? It will record already. So 6 seconds before you hit the record button, they already take this information inside already. And press button means 6 seconds beforehand, it already records. Just in case you missed that, probably, the intro of the conversation. Okay? So there's also a built-in processing. For example, you are up again in that mountain, and there's a lot of wind noise, boom, this noise. So basically, it has this high-pass filter to reduce sound of the wind and other noise as well. So that's basically the FAN Pro. And it's good for recording in the studio as well. It's also an audio interface. So it records 8 input and 4 outputs. And also records up to 96 kilohertz, 32-bit. And you can also go mobile, meaning if just in case you need to access the volume and basically knowing your levels and stuff like that, you can also connect it via iOS or Android control app from Zoom. And you can also use a hard device for your mixing to control. It's a 60 mm fader. So to power up, as I mentioned again, it's a versatile device for you to use it with a lot of kind of batteries and the 9-volt batteries. You can use adapter and many more. The other features, basically, before this, we was a F8N. So now we have the F8N Pro. Is the new F8N Pro comes with 2 slots that you can put 2 terabyte instead of just the older one with just 1 terabyte. So it gives you more space for you to record your audio. Okay, that's about the F series. F8N Pro is our basically the flagship model, and of course the M series. So the M series now going at a 10% off. You're interested to purchase it. Basically now we have a promo at 10% because of our workshops and all that presentation. We are running a promo at 261. And also 261 as well as the M4 at 526.5. And lastly, the FM Pro is now going at 1476 only. Okay, so any question, anything you want to ask me? All good? Yes.
You know that little box you have, what do you call that again?
This one? This one?
Sorry, yeah, that one.
This one?
Okay, yeah, no, the one, the square one. What do you call that again?
No, this is F3.
Okay, so I'm just like curious, right? You have that little jack going in, right? Can
Right.
you record the
This directly to a DSLR.
No, not this one. The other equipment, I think.
This one?
The one with the one that can. Yeah, that one.
This one? Okay.
No, the square one.
Okay.
Yeah, this one that has all these things going in, right?
Right.
So it's for the voice mic, right?
Right.
So I'm just curious, right? Because you can actually reduce noise, isn't it?
Right.
So if we have, let's say, a faulty cable, every time the cable is faulty always, right?
Yeah.
And it's unexpected.
Right.
So I'm just curious, will you be able to reduce that or
No.
remove that faulty
No.
sound?
Definitely not, because cables, so a lot of us basically, I got to say this, a lot of us generally just use any, cables can, just plug in. Actually, good cables means a lot. We always underestimate cables, but basically cables are very important in your line of work. If you are talking about your, the chain of your recording devices. Why I say this, basically, very simple. In this mic cable, right, okay, there are strands, like our hair, The lesser the strength, the easier to break. The moment I tie it, what happens? It breaks. So good cables, usually it is more vacuum, it's more tighter, so that when you make a roll, it will not break. And there are some cables that are shielded, which allows you to get less of the noise, especially when you have power and you put everything like how we do is so many cables, then you start to hear grounding noise, all that kind of noise, and that's causing a lot of problems. So good cables means a lot. The other thing is the soldering, your plugs. The moment you plug in, suddenly you just do this. What happens? It gets loose, and the soldering will just get worn. Another problem is when you in, out, so many times. Again, so the plugs plays a part as well. So good plugs means a lot. The soldering means a lot, as well as the cable. Yeah, so this one, there's no turning back. This one I cannot help. Because they only can, the way they can help is to give you a nice, superb, good fidelity in terms of the quality of the recording. But cables-wise, you have to find good cables. That's all I can advise. We have some good cables over there. I'm going to sell you some cables over there. So you can look for any of our sales guys. We will help you with all these cables, good cables. You have to invest a little bit because you're going to if you decide to use it for a long period of time, you need to get good cables. Yeah, which has good connectors, good soldering, and good plugs. Okay. Nice. Anything else? Oh, good. Yes, sir.
For the last item you're introducing, the 4-track recorder,
Right.
the preamps is as good as F3 and F6.
Yes.
But for the short term, is it?
Okay, because it's these are all the F series preamps that they use. So, but again, the way because of the design they use it on this device is slightly different in comparison to these, because the preamps come from these two. Yeah, which is the mic preamps. So this guy, actually, because it's the way they design this mic, and this guy is slightly different. Yeah, unlike, this is a hardcore preamps, which is the F-series preamp. Yeah, these are really high quality. But these are designed already with built-in preamps on its own. Yeah, so slightly different. Yeah. Because the reason why, usually like this, right? For example, okay, I can make another definition. Let's say you buy a $20 microphone on those market. Wow, cheap, but must be good, eh? Okay, we all do that. You buy a $20 microphone, and you decide, not bad. And I plug in. And you will know the answer, because by the time you plug in, you will hear noise floor from the microphone. You will hear probably you cannot adapt to that kind of sensitivity. You start to hear a bit only rattles, it cracks, and many more. Because it is not this device. It's because the micro information, like just now, remember we recorded these, but we were too close, and they get crackling just now initially. So that was because there's too much information that's going in. So you need to also access or position your mic carefully as well. So this is another thing that you need to understand is your mic positioning. So what I mean by this is basically if you are using a good microphone, you have, let's say, a Neumann microphone, costs like $5,000 or $10,000, and you plug it into a device, an audio interface that is basically $50 or $100. It is like when you have a Toyota car, but you put, I say, a Ferrari engine. You know, Toyota car, you put a Ferrari engine, your car will definitely terbalik, right? Because the speed of that Ferrari engine is like super fast, but your body is not strong. The body is not Ferrari. So by the moment you press the accelerator, your car will, collapse and stop, already gone. So it needs to have a Ferrari body and a Ferrari engine and a Ferrari driver. Then you can drive the Ferrari. So that's basically, in other words, you must have a good mic, good cable, and a good device. Then you have perfect recording. Okay? Anything else? Anybody wants to ask any more questions? If not, basically don't worry, because after this, you will also be, these devices will still be here. We have my team here to actually help you also, just in case you want to know more about recording or all these interfaces that's available. We have more products from Zoom that is basically out there. They have amazing products, right up through very affordable products, $100 over, right up to all these amazing products which cost you a fraction of what you can find in the market, good quality products. Okay? So that's it. If not, thank you very much. And please wait for the next presentation as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mike. Thank you very much. Hey, big hand for Mike Mayuni! Hey, clip 32-bit, no, son? 32-bit? No, Okay. All right, so 33-bit, okay. So, all right, thanks, Mike. So we have more events lining up later on. 3 p.m. we have a talk by Amaran. Aperture by Amaran. Or is it Amaran by Aperture? Okay, Amaran by Aperture. They'll be joining us at 3 p.m. So meanwhile, we have some refreshments over at the counter. Feel free to help yourself to the refreshments. And I'll see you guys later at 3 p.m. All right? Okay, see you guys later. Is it 2 minutes to 3? Okay, then 3:30. Okay. All right, just have some refreshments first. I'll call for you guys later on. If any questions for Mike, do feel free to approach him. He has the devices here at the counter as well. You can come forward and take a look at the devices here.
Check, test, 1, 2, test, 1, 2, test, test. Check, 1, 2, hey, 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 hey. Check, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Two, two, two. Check, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Hey, check, 1, 2.
Test 1, 2, 2. Mic check. Hey, 1, 2, 1, 2. Mic check. 1, 2. Mic check. Hey, 1, 2. Mic check. 1, 2. Mic check. 1, 2. Check. Hey, 1, 2. Check. Hey, 1, 2. Check. Hey, 1, 2. Mic test. 1, 2. Check. 1, 2, 2. Hey, hey. Mic check. 1, 2. Mic check. Hey, 1, 2. Check. Hey, 1, 2. Check. Hey, 1, 2, 2. Hey, hey. Check. Hey. Check. Hey. 1, 1, 2. Yeah. Right. Okay. Can. All right. Jimmy. Sorry, bro. So I don't have an additional HDMI to run.
Okay.
Anyway, if it does, we're not sure. I'm not sure if it will work because it doesn't. The Blackmagic guys set it up. Another way will be if let's say you want to swap over from here to here. Just unplug this into the other adapter.
Yeah, so I see. The feed is coming out.
So. No, from this, not this. Yeah.
Okay, don't worry, we will.
Sure, I'm so sorry about that.
Yeah, it's okay. We'll play it by ear. Yeah. It's fine.
Yeah.
So long at least I got something on the.
Either that or
Oh, I can hear myself already.
either that or we can use this. We can zoom it in for you.
Yeah,
You want to do that?
that would be the other way.
All right,
Yeah.
let's try. Yeah. Maybe you just put your phone here. You can run the app then.
Okay, center point is here. Okay. Testing. Oh wow, this sounds great. Oh yeah. It's this like but this is not like large diaphragm yet, right? No. This one is right. Oh okay. That's gonna sound better. Okay, Lionel, I need to ask you a quick question. Let's say if I need to kill the over.
Should be this one.
Testing. Testing. Okay. Yeah, I think.
Yeah. Testing. How do I sound, Gabriel? Can you hear me? Will this make my voice sexier in front of my wife? Yeah.
Check one, two,
Don't-
two, two.
Never mind.
Jimmy, this is
Yes.
Aina.
Yeah.
Aina is controlling the video feeds and everything.
Okay.
So he wants to have the scenes cut in a way so that the scene writing everything.
What's going to happen is I'm going to go through some of the slides first. So for the first part, you can relax. And then later on, when we do the demonstration, you will notice it right away because the ambient light is going to go off. And then we are going to cut between what's on the table and then the result that's on the TV. So we'll cut between the feeds. Yeah, pretty much between the TV and also between the two cameras. Do you have a tighter shot that we can look at? Okay. Okay. Oh, it's okay. Go, go. Fighting. No, come back there. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Can you increase the intensity of the?
Yep. Will it get blown out? Testing. All right. Okay. Hello. Yeah, actually, we just need to cut until it's just only the table. Yeah. There we go. Yes, correct. Yeah, exactly. Like this, just only frame the table. Testing. Mic check. Test. 1, 2, 1, 2. Hi guys, please join us for the sharing that's gonna begin in a couple of moments. Looks great then. Yeah. Yep. Yep. No, this is fine if it's not too dark. Oh. Maybe this one. Okay, we can already. Yep. So one white. Okay. So we got the white, the close up, and the flat lay, meaning the overhead. Well done. Awesome. Yeah. If you could. In the back.
Mic check. 1 2 1 2. Mic check. Hey. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Mic check. Hey. 1 2. Mic check. Hey. 1 2. Mic check. 1 2 1 2. Mic check. Hey. 1 2. Mic check. Hey. 1 2. Sorry. Sure, why? Okay, okay, no problem. No problem. That one was mainly for Mike. Because you need hands free. Yeah. Mic check. Hey, 1 2 1 2. Check. Hey, 1 2. Check. Hey, 1 2. We adjusted the levels quite a bit. So we want to make sure that everything is okay.
Hi guys. Hello. Hey Alan. Yep. Yep. Oh, thanks man. All the students enjoying the lights. It's nice, right? Just having everything all in one. Can do hard light, soft light, can do color. It's you're not that I'm complaining, but I think at some point I just feel like we're really spoiling the kids. Oh, the school does the school feel, you know, are they the kind where like, you know, where, you know, they feel like it's you can fly before you can walk already when it comes to
Mic check. Hey, 1 2. Mic check. 1 2.
preparing them for the industry, right? What they're using. And also trying to future proof it, right? As far as possible. Understand? Yeah, keeping each of us like humble, like, you know, you think you can do this, and then I can outdo you, and then yeah. It's a good. The center points. BT hasn't expired yet.
Because the box was super huge, there's only a few inside, so I transfer the smaller box.
Are they not, do they use the app? Are they aware of it? Yeah. Yes, yeah, you see, at the end of the day, I think
Check. Hey, check.
we just want to demonstrate the possibilities, and then the students will take that understanding of that, and then, you know, did he? Okay. When is it? Okay. You know, like wherever it's possible, just shoot me a text. I mean, I'm based in Bangkok. Doesn't mean that I don't come back to Singapore. Really, like, I mean, I enjoy the process of talking it. No, don't say that. Don't say that. Oh, really? Did any one of them come to Broadcast Asia? Or one? Okay. Okay. I think, I mean, I don't really like to say that, but it's very close to being a rental item only. It will not make a lot of sense for schools to. Tahan lah. Saya tahan lah. Understand. It's very much like there's a rental item, then there's a student. Okay, dance students. Is if it's of a non-commercial nature, if we are helping especially students, because we just need to balance it against the rentals that if the students have some kind of budget to rent from rentals, we don't want to be stepping on their toes lah. Oh, hang on, Eleanor. Eleanor, I think we're good to go already.
Yeah,
actually.
okay. Just another.
Sorry, Alan.
Your colleague, what's his name? Would you like to introduce him as well?
Gabriel.
Gabriel, yeah. Gabriel.
Lorenzo. Lorere.
Lorere. Nzo, Lorenzo, yeah.
From the Philippines.
From Philippines, okay. Okay, PHL. Okay. All right, got it. So just give me a moment. One of the guys is going to come in, then we're going to start the stream.
Okay, it's
Right. I'll
thanks.
still need to get the people back here as well.
Understand.
Right now, 10 minutes. 10 minutes, okay? Huh? No. Test. Push my mic a bit.
Exactly, I'm just going to run it across
Test. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're about to begin the third part of our tech showcase. So if you can make your way over to the tech showcase area, we will shortly begin in about 5 to 10 minutes time. Hey, check. Hey, good. Mic test 1, 2.
Okay. You know what? I'll just ring it here because it has the music effect. The thing here. So if you play music, it's gonna go with the music. I'll just ring it around here. Okay. It's the controllers here. The what? The panel is. It was there. It's here now.
from here. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sorry? You want to give it a test? The strip light. There. It's working now. There. See?
Test. Okay, we're about to start, so everyone can take their seats, please. Okay. All right, welcome back. So right now we are in our third segment of our Creator Showcase. My name is Lionel, aka Smash Shop Junkie. As you can see, the mood is a bit different right now, right? The background, all looking awesome and nice. Right, so did you guys enjoy the refreshments? Yeah, how do you like taking a look around our space? Got to see a lot of cool stuff. Right, so without further ado, so I'm just going to introduce our next guest right now. It's Amaran by Aperture Studio Lights Demo. From COA to full color tube lights, Amaran gives you versatile control over your lighting workflow like never before. And this will be presented by Mr. Jimmy Lim and Mr. Gabriel Lorenzo. Give it up for them.
Hi guys. Morning to all of you. My name is Jimmy. I'm from Aperture Asia. We are a lighting manufacturer. And this feels a little bit like the Prime Minister making the National Day address. It's a bit informal. Okay, you know what? For this part, I'm just gonna come out straight to you guys. We are a lighting manufacturer. We've been around since 2014. Yeah, so we've been around, since 2014. We've been making LEDs for a long time, yeah. And I'm just very curious before we go on. Has any one of y'all, maybe I should put it this way. How many of y'all are content creators? You're uploading whether a post, a story, on a near daily basis? Just maybe quick show of hands. Okay. Oh, awesome. And then just a quick second question, like how many of y'all may have heard of Aperture or Amaranth before? Mesami, you don't get to raise your hand. No, I'm just joking. he's actually been one of our longest users. You have a 5 to 8, 6, or even got the number right. Yeah, I gotta be honest with you. Like 1, maybe 2 in 10 actually gets the 3 numbers right. Yeah. So I think Aperture, when we first started out and Amaranth started out, our one single goal and objective was to power, content creators. And then later on, I think that identity evolved a little bit over time to production, filmmakers. And today, I've put together very quickly some lighting ideas, especially for maybe the less informed. You are looking to essentially deck out your home studio, creator studio, and you're wondering how to go about it. I'm just hoping through this very simple sharing, I put some of these ideas, these lighting ideas, into your head, and then don't be afraid to break out of the box, experiment with what works for you. I do emphasize this. You don't have to have every single lighting fixture in your setup to make it work. Yeah, as long as you understand the principles behind it. So we're just gonna jump across. Yep. Yeah, so, well, actually, I just rushed here from one of our shows. This is a little bit about, how Aperture looks like when you go to any one of the trade shows. This is something that you you'll see at Europe. In fact, we actually have been exhibiting for the past couple of days at Proc. And then these are just some of the brands that we are working with. And I think I believe we have our friends from Blackmagic Design over on the cameras, and some friends. I know some of y'all are big fans of the Blackmagic cameras. Yeah, they make really good images. Yeah, are they available at City Music already? If any of them are curious about the Blackmagics, they are. Oh, okay. See, you got your first customer. Anyone from Blackmagic here? Okay, I'm getting a free lunch from them. Okay. Just to help you put things in perspective, these are some of the workshops, product launches, from over the last few years. Yeah, we did this class with Fuji, and that looks like that's almost unrecognizable. When I was 15 kg heavier, I think. Yeah. Let's move on. Yeah. Okay. And I just wanted to help you paint a perspective of lighting. Yeah. So, Jeremy, this is something that we've put together, something very comprehensive. This is definitely not the situation for this, but just to give you some ideas, lighting is also about, there are 5 main key elements when it comes to lighting. The intensity, how bright the light is one of them, right? That will affect how what you can do with the lights. Generally, if you have a stronger light, that will allow you to put the light far away so that it doesn't show up in your frame. You can put a bigger softbox through it, if you think about it. If you have a very weak light, you put something like a softbox through it, you get nothing left there. So I think this is also one of the common myths people have, like, oh, I buy the smallest light, but the biggest softbox. Bad idea, right? So this is what we refer to as the intensity of the light. Then we also talk about things like quality of the light. We have something that is a bit softer, right? Generally a little bit more flattering, but that doesn't mean that the opposite of soft light, technically that would be a hard light source, is not usable. And then of course there are other things like colors. Yeah. Right? For example, if you introduce something, say like, if I bring this up, like color, right? Color introduces mood. Our brains physically are psychologically wired to feel in a certain way when we look at colors. Yeah? So you've got cool colors, you've got warm colors. You can use the colors in combination of each other. If you're lighting, if you're a content creator, I'll give you an option. You get to light the room with 2 colors. How do you pick the colors? Do you just choose any random 2 of them? There's some color science that works behind it.
And it's not just only for lighting. Okay, so these are some of the key ideas that I just want us to start us, off with, right? And then we're just going to move on, right? Later we are actually after these slides, we are going to go into an actual lighting scenario, so like a content creator desk like that. I think, and many of us in film and production will always say, show, don't tell. So I actually don't really like this part about telling people. So later in a few moments, I think it's easier for us to show you. But just hang in there with me, Gabriel. Yep. Right. So, yep. Go on. Right. So some of the thought process when it comes to lighting a scene. What kind of mood are you going for? Do you want someone to look at it and feel relaxed? Do you want to go for something that is very high key, something that's very clean, something that will not look out of place of an Apple commercial? So let's say if we use this, and let's cut to a close-up shot. Can we cut to a close-up on the camera? This is a flat layer. Oh, by the way, this setup, right? The close-up. You got a white close-up and your flat. This is the white. We're cycling through all the scenes. Okay, we've got a close-up shot there. So let's say if... stay on the close-up. Sorry, bit of communication. Yeah, stay on the close-up. Okay. Yeah. So something that is a bit more cleaner, like this. It's all... What do you notice about this scene right away? Anything you notice about it? I can hear a pin drop in the room. Right? Okay, so it's all, okay, lighting ratios and exposure, whether it's too bright or too dim aside. Okay, thanks, Gabriel. Yeah. You notice that it puts you in the mood where it's very clean, right? There's no colors, everything is just daylight. It kind of puts someone in the mood, like, especially when you think about it, you go to corporate environments, you go to working places, why all the light around in rooms like that are lit less with any warmth or any color in them, as opposed to something like this. Right? What's the difference between the two? You added in color, right? Yeah, you added in color, right? And also, you do understand that when you add in color, it introduces mood to it. So how we are actually achieving this is also through the help of the software. How it allows you to quickly jump between the setups. Do understand that all these we've talked about when it comes to lighting is on the hardware side, but there are some things that only the software side can help you unlock. So understand that lighting is part hardware and part software, lighting control, especially when you are working with a multitude of fixtures. Or you could just work with something that is just a single light source. Just a single light source. Let's maybe warm it up, the image a little bit. Can we just check the camera settings? Is it on daylight, quite balanced? Yep. Okay. Right? So it could be something that is very dramatic, very moody. Right? It's just one overhead light source. How can we make it moodier? We're just cycling through a variety of scenarios. This image, to make it moodier, we need to increase the contrast in the image. And that means actually turning some more of the overhead lights off. So are we able, Lionel? Are we able to just kill just a little bit more of the light? And then Mr. Gabriel in the image with just a single overhead light is going to pop even more from the background. So just give them some time. And generally, when it comes to lighting a scene like this, I just wanted to quickly show you, for the purpose of time's sake, we really want to just run through a few lighting ideas. So generally, what I would recommend if you are going through a lighting setup in your room, start as close as you can. If you're able to control the existing lighting, kill all of the lights in the room. right? That would be equivalent to a white piece of paper if you're trying to draw or sketch something. So every light that you put in there is kind of like what we say painting. So give them some time, right? They're working on, I understand that the lights are tied to a main controls deep into their inside their storeroom. So this, just a single light source, we killed every single other light in the room while they're working on the rest. This will give you a very dramatic kind of a mood. Yeah? So it could be, this look could be something that's more suitable to a content creator where things have kind of gone wrong, you know, on media, and then they're making a public apology. And you get where I'm going, right? Essentially the right look for the right mood that you're trying to convey to the creators, you know, to play better into your style. Yeah? Okay. How are we doing for the lights? Sorry, I didn't give them enough heads up, yeah. All right. So again, very quickly, let's cut back to the slides. Okay. Okay. So coming back to the slides, hopefully this very quick but short demonstration has given you a better idea of, you know, what I'm talking about. And then later we are gonna do it. We're gonna have a breakdown, you know, bit by bit, you know, on the lighting fixtures and actually how they are working for you. Okay, let's move on, Gabriel. Okay, go on. Yeah. So I think images is always easier to help people realize what we are talking about. Yeah. So this, I mean, if you go to a big, you know, Hollywood production scene, this is. Has anyone seen anything remotely like this? Right? They call it the pirate ship. Yeah. So anyone knows what is the reason they have something like that to begin with? Yeah. I'm buying a drink if you know what this is for. Anyone wants to hazard a guess? Anyone? Not you, Matthew. Yeah. That would be cheating.
Sorry? Are you asking about the rails?
What's the reason?
So they can have like movable lights?
Yes, getting there.
Wait, what else do you need?
What's the movable lights for?
All right, so that the subject looks different.
Very good, yeah. Yeah, I'll buy you half a drink, yeah. So this is essentially, they would have the actors come in for a very short period of time, celebrities, and sit in that chair and quickly find the best camera and lighting angles for the subject. Yeah, that's good try, right? Good try. So this is also what this is also a process of experimentation. Why certain actors would say, you know, please focus on this part, you know, that part, and then in terms of lighting and camera angles wise, they call it blocking, right? Blocking. To find what are the best angles and try to complement, you know, the angles that I'm saying that you don't have to do this in your studio, but this is what people, you know, out there are doing. Yep. Okay. At the end of the day, understand that, you know, lights are the tools that help us tell the story, but I would also say, especially in this current age, don't fall in love with the tools. Understand that they are great, reliable. You want something that's useful, reliable, and dependent, but don't get a little bit too carried away. But having said that, I must say, we make some really good tools. Okay, just a quick background, because I understand also some of you all might be from film schools, you know, universities, you have maybe served in a certain capacity at a photographic society. This is kind of how, you know, lights, the evolution of lights look a little bit like. Generally, lights tends to be a lot hotter than I can remember in my lifetime. You literally have to wear gloves to actually handle all these equipment, and generally, this type of light also generates a lot of heat in the room when you have a number of these fixtures turned on. And I'll just quickly cycle through a couple of images until we get to LED. Yeah. Okay, we've got the very big production lights. Right, go on, Gabriel. Yep, just keep going. Right, we've got the tubes, and then we've come to the age of LEDs. So the benefits of using LED really is that they are controllable, they are dimmable, right? A lot of times in the past, the lights didn't used to be dimmable. So a lot of times just to control the intensity, you either had to put modifiers to get to the output, the desired outcome that you want. Now you can even change the lights to create colors, which then in turn create moods for your scene. So let's say, let's cut back maybe to, I'm giving the production team a hard time. Okay, we're gonna cut to the flat lay, right? Oops, it's upside down. Maybe it's easier if you help me control gap. Yeah. Okay, so this is what you're looking at over here is Sidus Link. Oh, thanks, yeah. Right, this is Sidus Link. This is the app that's actually controlling all the fixtures on set. So in this time and age, there are several lighting manufacturers making different lights, but now it's coming to that point where software is starting to differentiate the brands, like who is more mature, who is more capable, what features do you have? Because I previously just mentioned, there are some functions on the light itself that cannot be controlled from the light. You need to do it through the software. So, so let's just use the overhead light as an example, right? So this light is the is capable of changing color temperature. Anyone knows what color temperature is? I know it's a lot of lighting concepts. Okay, generally, it's a type of white light, right? That's something that's cooler and something that's warmer, right? Which is what you get right now, if you go to the extreme ends, right? And probably to just cut to the chase, something that's very warm, you know, does give you a very warm feeling, right? When you look at it, it's more approachable. Whereas as opposed to something that is more neutral, which is white, the number to look out for is 5600 Kelvin, right? 5600. It will give you something that is close to, I think that's blue. Yeah.
It's not white balance.
Oh, okay. Ah, okay. The camera is running blue. Oh, the TV. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Okay, well, we can compensate. So again, you know, everything, why you're having this conversation is because everything is referenced back to the white balance on the camera. So if you're working with cameras, iPhones are considered like cheating. So, but if you're using a digital camera and you get to set a white balance of 5600, if your light is 5600, you would see as what you see, white, right? But if your camera is set for 5600 and you are showing 3200 on your light, your image is going to look, exactly, right? It's going to look warmer. So, because sometimes you want an image to look really warm, but the light doesn't allow you to do that. There are ways to set it in the camera just by moving the white point on the camera to get it more blue or more warmer. Okay. So let's go to something that's a bit more interesting. So let's take use of what we have learned. There is a function on the app called source match. So we're still playing with the idea of color temperature here. So the function is what we call source match, if you can go to it. Source match is actually a very useful tool. It activates the camera sensor in your phone. You can use this, point it at the light source that you want to try to match. This is extremely useful when you are working in environments where you are not in control of. So Gabriel just pointed to one of the warmer light sources that's registering 3850 Kelvin on the app, and the light straight away just jumped to that light source. Where something like this would be useful is where, let's say you're doing an interview, you are going on location with the lights, and you do not have the ability to turn the lights off. What do? You always try to white balance to the light there, right? The last thing, because generally, to put it simply, if you don't do that, you're gonna have an orange light and a blue face. You're gonna kill yourself trying to edit the hell out of it. So a lot of times, we would try to white balance to the existing light source if you are not able to turn off the light. So this function, source match, is actually very useful. Essentially, it's just scanning the light that you're trying to balance to, and the lights will just balance to it. Yeah. Right. Again, you need to understand this is not a feature that any light can do. You need to use the software to activate it. Yeah. Okay, let's take this example and move on. Let's say we expand it across fixtures. Yeah. There is another function on the app, and this is where probably we are going to introduce a light that can change color. So Gabriel, if you turn off the F21, okay, you can see how quickly he's going to go to that. It's going to go off. And let's turn on the tube in the back. Okay, yep, exactly. I read my mind. Yeah. Okay, can we cut to the close-up before? Okay. Sorry, it's not completely dark in the room yet. That's why it doesn't quite have that kick that it needs to be. Just remember that if the rest of the room is just completely in darkness, everything is just going to pop a lot more. This is what we refer to as contrast. Right? Sometimes there's too much light in your image. You need to realize that and be able to take light away. Okay, but don't worry, we work with what we have. So what we did was actually we put a light tube in the back of the room. Okay, let's have the tube off. Okay, completely dark. You know, if you are even in your HDB flat, you know, pretty much you're going to lose most of the details. When in lighting, especially and creating an image, you got to think of it as a three-dimensional kind of a space. You have a background, you have a midground, and you have a foreground. But generally, just for the sake of discussion, we keep things simple. We have background and we have Gabriel. That's easy to understand enough. So sometimes you got to remember when you're lighting, you got to light for the subject, right? Yeah, light for the subject. And also light for the background. So first thing, generally what I'll do is, if you're trying to set up in the room, right, I would suggest to put your subject as far as you can away from the background, the wall. Because you want to be able to light the subject and the background independently. You want control, right? Essentially, you want as much control as you can get. Okay? All right? Okay. Oh, nice. Okay. So can we kill the F21? Let's go back to the tube. Okay. And then we go back to the, let's turn on the tube in the back. Right? And it's actually just a single tube, right? It's a linear line long factor light. So its main purpose is to throw color on the wall. And because it's a white soft light source, it's going to spill the light all over the room, which is kind of what you want. Okay? If this light was something that was a lot harder, like a hard light source, it tends to be a lot more focused. And then you kind of have this highlight shadows that you don't want. Yeah? But you want something that's more even. In lighting, we'll call this is pretty much like throwing a wash of light into the backdrop. Yeah? Okay, we can dial it to, let's say, can we dial it to red?
I'm doing a pixel.
Okay, hang on. You're getting ahead of yourself, Gabriel. Yeah.
All right, sorry.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. Yeah. Okay. So you can use the app to dial in for to dial in the color. And let's maybe just take things up a notch. Let's say, for example, if you're shooting for a commercial brand, let's say Shopee, Lazada, engage you to do a product shot. Yeah. You can turn on. Now we go to the flat lay. Right? You can actually turn on the function what we call color picker on the app itself. You can turn on the picker tool. So the picker tool will allow you, it's to the right, right. It will allow you to scan, similarly to source match, this will allow you to scan an existing color based on what the camera sees. We can go to the yellow tape, the yellow one, or my leftover drink, that will work as well. And then let's go for something like the green. Okay, the camera is stressed, yeah, okay. And you've got a color. Let's go to something that's a bit more grabbing. Why not let's scan the red on the mixer. Please keep in mind also that it is dependent on the amount of light that's falling on the subject. If the environment that you are scanning in is relatively dark, it's not going to pick out the full saturation of the light there. Okay, you scan a red and then you go to red. Can we try scanning the blue? Oh, yep, let's scan the blue. Okay, like I said, it's actually a bit more blue than that. So you notice that it's coming out a little bit as white. Okay, so what you need to do, Gabriel, is you need to turn on the overhead light. the overhead F21 and rescan that blue again, you're going to get a deeper, a richer blue. You might want to set that to daylight though, yeah. As in you want to set that to daylight and scan the color again. Sorry, I'm stressing him out, a little bit. It's completely unrehearsed. Yeah. So what I'm saying is that what you're scanning is really dependent on the amount of light that's falling on the subject. Keep in mind that you cannot scan black. Anyone knows why? Huh? Best thing I heard all day. Yeah, black's not a color. It's the absence of light, Matthew. Right? Yeah, black is not a color. So you can't scan black. Yeah, you can't scan black. Just going with that, I just wanted to ask, in that case, in terms of colors-wise, do you notice that LEDs tends to struggle with certain colors? Anyone's noticed? This, okay. I might be taking that a little bit too much. Okay, I think that's time for another conversation. Okay, can we scan the blue? Oh, okay, you got the blue already. Yeah, so you can see that you get a much richer blue if you have enough light that's falling on the subject that you're trying to scan. Yeah. So let's take this. Yeah. So we've got the blue in the back, right? As I've just mentioned, trying to light your background and your foreground independently. If your subject is too close to the wall, when you light it, you're going to end up lighting both people at the same time. So you're suddenly going to look very bluish in a way. I mean, not with that tube. Let's say you only have one light source from the front, and you're trying to light and you don't have a lot of room to work with, you're going to end up for lighting two subjects, which you don't want. So the idea is to put your subject away from the room, that you have control over the subject that you're lighting, and also the background. Yeah. Coming off this, let's take this idea about color, right? In color-wise, let's jump to the color wheel. We go to the flat lay, if you can, right? We come to the app. Okay, so, okay, you might have to kill the F21, yeah, okay? Okay, off. Yep, then we are just going to show the app, right? Right, so this is the color wheel. I think it's a little blown up, but it can only be addressed on the camera side. Okay, so this is the color wheel. This is kind of a universal standard that we use, that we reference, whether you are camera side, lighting side, or colorist side. Yeah. In this wheel, there are certain lighting or color combination concepts. In a scene like this, sometimes you need to pick two colors, two or three colors even, to complement your set. Like, what colors do you pick? Yeah? Any ideas? Yeah? Let's say we start with the blue in the back. Yeah? Okay, let's say you've seen some of the YouTube videos, you've seen some of the content creators. It seems like blue is a very common color to use, yeah? Right, in the back. Yeah? Let's say if I pick a second color for this particular scene, what would you pick and why? Why? Why orange? Yeah? Exactly. So our friend here has, for those of you who didn't hear it, he selected orange. And orange is actually a complementary color to blue. It's on the opposite side of the color wheel. Oops, sorry, the TV is shutting down. I think you just need to wake it up a little bit. Yeah. So coming back to the color wheel, right? If you can stay on the color wheel. Okay. Okay, so if you look at it, right, on the color wheel itself, you can see blue and orange are on opposite ends of the color wheel. This is a very natural occurring complementary color combination, right? If you're picking any two colors, you need to understand that this doesn't just apply for lighting. It applies to design, to colorists. If you look at a lot of the movie posters that you see in Hollywood, you would spot this orange-blue, teal-orange combination a lot. Yeah. Let's go for something that's a bit more like Wong Kar-wai inspired. Yeah. When we say Wong Kar-wai inspired, I think for some of us, yeah, this is, oops, sorry about that. Okay, what's Wong Kar-wai? Wong Kar-wai is, yeah, Wang Jiawei. Yeah, he's the Hong Kong film director. Yeah, In the Mood for Love. Yeah. Right? So one of the colors that he was quite well known, for is a different color combination, which what we have here. a green and a red combination, right? Red and green, right? The red is showing up behind the green. We have it here, on the strip light itself. Again, like I said, you can experiment with different color combinations, right? You got something that is generally warmer and something that's a bit cooler, right? Blue, purple, magenta, yeah. In this particular example, yes, yeah, red and then green, yeah. Right now, we are not determining whether it's foreground or background. Right now, it's more of showing the combination. Generally, we will not use so much of a strip light to light someone from the front. It's not very flattering. It's more like what we call an accent light. Yeah. It adds visual interest to your scene. It makes it more interesting, less boring, if you will. Yeah. But just for demonstration purposes sake, we have it in the front. Yeah. Just give them some time. They're sorting out the TV for us. It's just a color combination that he used. Yeah, like teal, orange, red, cyan. He didn't use exactly green. He used cyan, which is more like a bluish green kind of a look. Yeah, more red, red cyan type of combination. Yeah. So it doesn't have to be actual green. It can be a shade of green. Yeah. Just keep that in mind. Oh, okay, we're back. Yeah. Okay. And then there is this particular function, building on the idea of color combinations. Let's turn on palette now. Right. So if you go to all fixtures, right? Yes, exactly. So there's this particular function in the app itself. It's called palette, right? Palette allows you to select first your color combination. If you go into style, right? And you dial in your HSI, your color. So this will allow you to pick your combinations beforehand. So let's take the idea of complementary. Let's go up to a triad. A triad is a combination of 3 colors that are evenly spaced on even sides of the wheel. So using the app, you can dial in how much, what exact color you want. RGB is a very common triad, right? CMY is another very common triad. You can also dial in how saturated you want, how saturated that you want the color to be. So for purpose sake, instead of having 7 options, let's just go to maybe 5. Okay, we just reduce the number of 5. And of course, the closer you get into the color wheel, the more desaturated your light will be. When I say desaturated, it just means how much of that light. If you want something that's very red or a little bit of pink, right? So that's bringing in the desaturation. And when you're working with cameras, generally, it's not a bad idea to desaturate a bit because quite a number of the cameras cannot capture the full saturation of a color. Yeah, our eyes can see it, but the cameras cannot see it. Yeah. Okay, so just for that purpose, I'll recommend you to desaturate the light. Just move it in closer to the wheel. Okay, once you've done that, then you can create a group and start assigning the lights to it. Yeah. Give us a second. You can just add new fixtures. So once you've come here, right, you can add the fixtures. So let's say I've created a cyan, magenta, yellow. And it's all around, my setup. I've got some overheads, I've got some on the floor, and I want to make use of a triad combination in the room. I can, let's say, I select all of them, setup, and then now you've got all the lights that you want below. What you can start doing is you can start selecting a color and assigning and start assigning the lights to that color. Right, using the palette. I think the film school people, the teachers will kill me, man. Yeah, it's almost a little bit like, I didn't go to film school. This is a cool function on the app. Let's use it anyway, yeah, right? So again, this is just making use of color combinations. So we are working with, what color combination are we using? A bit of CMY. Okay. You can see that there are many different shades of cyan, purple, magenta, white, and you got something that's in the lavender kind of a color range. So again, like I said, this is by no means like a look that all of you all have to do, but it's available. It's available there through the app. Yeah. Okay, let's right. So let's take that idea. Let's move on. If you can go back quickly to the slides. Okay. Oh, sorry. I really digress. I really digress. So coming back to LED. Now I think these are some of the. You're right. Actually, let's go to that slide. Okay. Yeah. You probably don't see it, but it's actually all the time on your favorite, TV shows, your Netflix, your sci-fi, your drama. People actually use a lot of these color combinations in more than ways that you have imagined. Let's move on. Yeah. Okay. Like I said, then you need to understand that light itself is great. Now, sometimes manufacturers say, "I've got the most powerful light, and I've got this, I've got that." But you need to understand that there is another aspect to lighting, which is controlling where the light falls. So we've got a couple of modifiers, and then I think this is where we get a little bit hands-on about stuff, is we actually can control light with the help of what we call modifiers. Let's start with perhaps something that everyone is very familiar with. Let's start with the softbox, okay? So we've got, can you see how many softboxes we've got? Sorry. Can you see how many softboxes we've got on this scene? Anyone? We've got a total. It's just a tube behind, right? This is just a strip light. So we've got a total of 2 softboxes, okay? So just keep in mind that you've got softboxes that are round, some that it's more rectangular like this. But generally, the approach to softboxes is we use the rounder type softboxes. They are more natural looking. A lot of times you will see a lot of the creators use a light with a softbox in front because the eyes essentially behaves like a mirror, like a lens. You want what we call the light inside your eye. We call it the catch light. You want it to be natural looking. And it's usually round. So that's one of the main purpose why we used a round softbox. So in that sense, if you are looking at buying a single light, and the purpose of that light, you want to soften the light, it looks more flattering on you. You know that it's going to be looking towards you. A round softbox is probably a safer choice. And then for the very same purpose, why do we have something that's more a rectangular-ish type softbox? Is that when you put the softbox on it, it's designed to control light in a way that it falls and hits the table, right? Something that is more rectangular, compared, especially if you're lighting for a shot like on the table, a flat lay, you want to look at what table that you're using. Is it more squarish? Is it more rectangle? Or is it something in between? Then this, the more appropriate softbox will serve the purpose better. So that's why I actually recommend using something like a F21. I mean, that's just the model name, a rectangular softbox like this. Yeah, exactly. So you can see that its main purpose, what it's really doing, it's currently a little bit angled, so it's lighting him on the side. But a lot of times, it's not like a right or wrong thing. It's also not uncommon for people to put the softbox directly over, the desk itself. Yeah. So just give her a bit of time. Maybe we just need to angle it a little bit flatter, right? So what this light actually does, its main purpose is to add this rim, this hair light, on his head. And at the same time, its main purpose is to also put light on the table. So sometimes as a content creator, you have a couple of shots, right? So you've got your white shot, which is where we are right now. And then depending on if you're using something like a 4K camera, you might be able to get a second camera angle by cropping it, in, right? Let's cut to a tighter shot. Oh, this is a flat lay. Yeah. Cut to a tighter shot just from a single camera. You can do that if you're taking 4K and you're exporting out in 1080p. And of course, the third shot will be something like your flat layer. So if you only had one light stand and it's just lighting him directly, your table is going to look it's not going to be even like this. Right? How do you achieve? You've probably seen this enough, in your fair share of YouTube videos, how people were able to get, the light evenly across the entire table for a flat lay shot. Okay, now we're just going to angle the light a little bit more. Okay, can we actually? It's starting to bother me a little bit. If you could just, we just tilt the light completely. Yeah. So once you've done that, you move that in, right? You're going to get a much more even shot. Yeah. You need a soft light source to do it. If you use something hard, you will not get this. You will not exactly be able to get this evenness. Yeah? Especially if you're not diffusing the hard light. Yeah? Okay. So just for demonstration purposes' sake, I just want to quickly show you what some of these lighting fixtures, how they actually add, to your scene. Let's say you already have one, and then you're starting with the second one. This would be a good shot. So let's say we just only have so we've got one on the key, we've got one overhead. Could you just so we've got a tube in the back as well, right? If we can cut to the close-up. Yep. Okay. And then we add a color to it. We can go with something that's complementary. Okay. So, like I said just now, we've seen what the light in the back does. It's a tube light now, right? And perhaps maybe, Gabriel, if you help me just run behind. Yeah, okay. Even just stay there, right? You can see now we're using a complementary color, and we're using a tube in the back to flood the light. You can also put this on the floor. It doesn't always have to be on the desk. If you have the option to buy a second tube light, you can even split the room into half. I mean the background into a second or third color. But again, just keep in mind that the more colors you add, the more distracting, it takes you away from the subject. So this would be something this would be a good starting point, right? I'm not talking about exposure, whether it's properly balanced or not, right? But just to give you some quick lighting ideas, yeah, right? So you've got the tube in the back that's doing this color combination. And then I understand that we have another light. Where is it? Oh, yeah, okay. So there's this particular other light that we have. It's called strip lights, right? I'm not sure whether you all can see it on the floor, right? These are, I know you do actually get some of these at hardware shops. We make a version of it that is also controllable through the app as well. The biggest differences are these are more color accurate. They are more made from film and video purposes. And the other thing when you're creating content and videos is that these lights shouldn't flicker, because flicker is very distracting, right? So there are some functions that are on the app that you can get really creative with. One of my personal favorites is the snake. Where's the snake? If you can show them the snake effect. It's that snake, the one that if you can increase the speed. Yeah. Okay. There are plenty of effects that you can put on there. Or you can just put on a full solid color. It all depends on the mood and the vibe that you're going for. So in a scene like this, we would add a strip light. Maybe, it's very, I personally really like it because the strength of a strip light actually comes when you're trying to coil around subjects. So if you got a pillar, if you got a guitar, if you got a mic stand, the strip light actually is very useful to coil around it, just to create a little bit of visual interest. Yeah. Otherwise, your scene just looks a bit, quite stale and uninspiring, in that sense. Yeah. Oh, okay, right. Yeah. So one of the cool things with the strip light is the music effects function. Yeah. So there's this particular function inside the app that is responding to my voice commands, yeah. Right. Clearly point demonstrated there. So through the app itself, you can turn on the music effects function. It will respond to a feed, an audio feed from the outside like that one. So if you put that, and then you let it listen to it, right? Generally, you want to put it close to where the mic is. Yeah. Cool, huh? Right. just because you can. Yeah. Remember, like I said, the app unlocks a lot of the functions. Yeah. Damn, we should have just started out with that and then just end our story, right? Right, ladies? Yeah. can see all the excited faces. Yeah. Yeah. So you could rig this, you know, with, to your TV, to your desk setups, and turn on. So you can feed it a live audio like this, you know, through your iPad, through your speaker, or what you could also do is that you can upload a file into the app, and then it will break down the beats per minute so that the effects will line up with the audio you're going for. If you're feeding it live, external music source, then there might be a slight delay to it. So that's essentially the biggest differences between the two. So this is actually how it looks like. You can select the lights to come out in a rainbow format. You can also select the lights to, say for example, I only want the cool part of the spectrum, maybe the cyan, blues, magentas, or I want the lights to be very warm, right? And also, in addition, you can take advantage of the previous functions like palette and apply it to the strip light there. Okay? All right, just you know, for the purposes of demonstrations and time's sake, it's there. Right? I would say I highly advise, you know, do give this, you know, a thought. Like I said, the software side, when it comes to buying any fixtures, do look at the maturity of the software. It does unlock a lot of the other functions that the light cannot do by itself. Yeah. Or you could also record, like I said, if you don't have existing audio, you can make your own music. I know that's kind of a popular thing around here, right? You can create your own music, and then you can save this as a file, and then you can upload it and get the music to sync, the audio file to sync with the lights. Pretty cool, huh? Yeah. Okay, and then with that, we have the strip light. This is the SM5C, right? I understand that this is probably going to be available at City Music. If you're interested in it, please look for the guys, Lionel, you know, Ying Long, and the team at City Music. Yeah. And then I just want to go I know I've been talking nonstop. I'll show you, this will be the last one. We're going to show you, let's say we put all of these lights that we've talked about together, right? There is this particular function, what we call quick shots. Quick shots brings the entire scene that you have saved back to life. So let's start with something that's all dead. Let's kill all the lights. Okay. Oh, you know, while you're at it, oops. Oh, can we save that? Can you turn on again? Sorry, I've been stressing him out all day. If you could, let's save this scene as the third one. Okay. We're gonna save this. Can we cut to the flat lay? Okay. Okay. And we're gonna save this scene. So it's inside what we call quick shots. You can save up to a total of 10 quick shots, 10 scenes, if you will. Okay. And then if we hit save. And you can rename the scene as maybe Gabriel if you want. You can put your name in. You can save it. We have language support if you know, up to Japanese, Thai, Korean, you know, Vietnamese as well. So it's actually doing the wheel. It's saving. And let's kill all the lights first. Okay, so we've got a couple of scenes that's actually saved. So let's go to the close-up. The close-up. White. Okay, now we had a close-up. Okay, assume that the scene is a bit darker than it is. With the help of quick shots, we can bring, let's say, I think I've seen a scene 1. Okay, this was scene number 1. Yeah. It remembers the color, the settings, the intensity. If your light is performing a music effects, it will bring all of that back again. Yeah. It's very useful depending on the time, the mood of the day, you know, what you're going for, the vibe, whether it's a paid commercial or it's just like a heart-to-heart, you know, talk with your viewers and your followers. Let's go with something that's very clean. That will be scene number 2. Right, something that's a bit daylight. Right now, there's still a bit of shadows on Gabriel's face because it's missing a light generally from the front. Okay, so he will attempt to compensate by having the light a little forward and then pointing towards him, which is exactly what he's doing. So sometimes in this case, this will make a lot of sense as well. If you have your desk very close to the wall and you're not able to put any lights, beyond that, you will want to move your overhead light a little forward and tilt down like what Gabriel just did, just to compensate a little. Again, it's just making use of the elements, the tools, the constraints that we have. Yeah. So this will be seen too. The only other light, why I actually have this glaring light beside me is that there's one thing I didn't cover, right? Would be, just remember, lights, they can be used in a variety of situations. And sometimes you feel that in a room like this, you still want the overall feel to be even more dreamy, more high-key, more airy. So what we would do is sometimes we would just take a light source, tilt it upwards, and have it bounce into the ceiling. Right? What we call bouncing a light source. So bouncing that light source against a surface actually spreads the size of a light. If your light is just hitting you directly, you're working with the size of that light source that's hitting you. But if you bounce that light source into a wider space surface like an overhead ceiling, you're gonna get generally what we call lifting the ambient. So just to quickly show, if we can kill the P60, we stay on this look. Oh, it's okay, right? Then we're going to turn the light that's just doing the bounce for us. Okay? On, and then off. On again, off. Okay, let's say if I just move it a bit closer to you. Okay, I'm just going to move it. Okay. Okay, maybe just here. It's okay. Yep. Okay. So depending, like I said, it's not rocket science, but it takes sometimes, especially of how experienced you are, depending on where you want to lift the ambience. Yeah. Okay. Now can we show off, on, right? So you can see what bouncing the light does for you. Okay. But keep in mind when you're bouncing the light, generally you need a stronger light to do that. If your light is very weak and you try to bounce it, you don't see much at all. Yeah? The other thing to take note when you're bouncing the light is the surface that you're bouncing it into. If it's a surface that has a color to it, then you're gonna get the color back into your frame, your shot. So just be mindful of that. And just because the lights you can add a little bit of warmth to it, right? So there's this cool warm combination that Gabriel just turned on by lowering the color temperature of that light, just to make the background pop, just to pop a little bit more, just by having a slightly different color combination. Let's go with something. So let's quickly let's go back to quick shots, and then we'll cut to maybe the last one, the one that you set up. Just straight up. Teal blue. Okay. You want to go to flat lay? Okay. And then, okay. Can we go to, just a close up? Yeah. Yeah. And that's it. This was the last setting that Gabriel was lighting with. Very useful. Do take advantage, of the functions on the app and the light itself. I think I've come to the end of my presentation. And I know it's probably easier if you'll come forward, ask us questions, and experiment this for yourself. My name is Jimmy. I'm from Aperture Asia. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jimmy and Gabriel. Give it up for Gabriel and Jimmy. Right. Wow. Hey, nice, huh? Wow, I like it, man. Such a nice atmosphere. So, all right. So we have come to the. This is the third part of our discussion, our showcase here. Next up, we will actually have some sharing from some of the industries, very popular people, very influential people. So they'll be coming up in a while. So meanwhile, give us a little bit of time, let us set up, and we will come back to you, and Raven Lim and Jennifer Lim will be here to present as well, right? So hang in there. Hang on, there's a bit of wires here. Sure, thanks.
So, what do... How do you want me to start? Actually, our presentation is very short.
Okay, so nice. Okay.
Yeah, we're just going to do like 50 minutes maybe.
Sure, no problem.
Yeah.
No problem. So what I'll do is I'll hook you up to the projector or screen. Marlon.
So yeah, that is the deck.
Okay, let me just put this into presentation mode. Alright, cool. So let me just do a quick mic check for you. Mic test 1, 2. Okay, stand closer. Okay,
Okay, mic check. 1, 2.
please stand over this way. Put this over
I think
here.
she will be here.
Oh, should we hear her?
Yeah,
Can? No problem.
because you present first.
Oh, okay, so we'll all be using the same.
Yeah.
The same microphone?
We can have our own mic.
We have one microphone.
Okay,
Yeah.
but you present first, or you want to...
Yeah. So
They
I
need to
will.
see,
We
yeah.
can be close,
Mm-hmm.
and I just need to press.
I will press for you.
Oh.
Okay, let's start with Raven first. Raven, let me do a sound check for you.
Hello, testing, mic test. 1, 2.
Let me say, short discussion, please. Okay, let's do a line test for Raven first. Mic check 1, 2. Mic check 1, 2, 1, 2. Mic check 1, 2. Mic check hey 1, 2. Check hey. Check hey. Hey, it's good.
So you want to use this one? So you want to see if your.
Okay, Raven is try speaking. Oh, yes, Soba. Okay. Right, so we try Raven first.
Okay, mic test. 1, 2.
Very good.
Okay.
Jennifer.
Mic test.
Okay, you want to bring the mic closer to you so you don't have to lean over.
Okay.
Testing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Speaking again to the microphone.
Mic test. 1, 2.
Mic test.
Because we really, so right now what's going to happen is that we need to get a cue from the guys there.
Okay.
Live.